All right, family. Black Power. Black Power. It's the Truth Hour with General Sarah. Soon said he kick back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's all right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com online marketplace. Official General Sarah Soon said he DVD lectures, t-shirts and hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry for the family, holistic herbal tonics and remedies, and home decor accessories for every room in the house. We got you. At this time, we got 20% off. KingSeti.com. Run. Get you something nice and get you a big discount too. That's right. Ring the alarm. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com. SETI University. Over 900 video presentations on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, mental warfare. Advanced African academics developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sarah Soon Seti website. Get your behind in class today and get that information, highlighting Too Raw for YouTube, banned videos. We also highlighting King Narmer, father of ancient Egypt, highlighting who are the seeds of the devil on earth. SETI University ain't nothing but the truth. We ain't got nothing. We stacked with flames, stacked with gems and jewels. Check us out. We also highlighting the making of a nigga so raw it can only be shown on GeneralSeti.com. General Seti popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live streams, too hot to handle on YouTube. Up next, evidence of the modern troglodyte. Up next, evidence of the modern troglodyte dropped today. America is Egypt. The Mississippi versus the Nile debunked. Preview going down this Sunday. Going down this Sunday, you'll see the flyers go up tomorrow. Also on Patreon, the stolen art of alchemy, the black arts. Powerful information you need to know. You know, is a mystical art, but yet and still it's our art of black divinity that has been manipulated by European people for far too long. Plus, they ain't got the mechanisms to do nothing with it no way. You see, also God set the Black Lord, master of the ring of eternity. We dropping that and tomorrow also. So you need to have your behind in the place. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. You'll be up out of here quick. All right, family. Now we about to drop in how ancient Egyptian gods best and Ptah civilized the known world. Yeah, coming with none but fire. None but fire. Let's get it. Let's get it. Here we go. Yeah. So, so the thing is, so when we get to talking about a lot of people, the science of the Ptah, which is the little short people in Africa. African people is the only people on the planet that got a segment of their race where they got the little, got a little short people like that. You see, so that is something special to African people. Now, other people might have a dwarf, but they don't have Ptah. They don't have a segment of their race because there's a difference between a dwarf and a Ptah. A Ptah's body and limbs, legs, and arms are proportional to their torso, where a dwarf, their arms and their legs are not proportional. You see, they're not proportional. And so that is the big difference between the Ptah and the dwarf. Now, as you go across the world, you see that the Ptah is not only in Africa, they have migrated. They are the first navigators. You see, along with the Khoisan in South Africa, who seem to, with the Khoisan and the Twa being the two earliest. But I'm, believing the Twa to even be earlier than the Khoisan. You see, and so you see them not only in Africa, you see them in the Naga Kush. You see them in the Naga Kush. You see them even in the Americas. You see, with the old Mecca. You see them even in the Americas. There's, the leprechaun. You see them in Japan. You got stories of the little men, magical men in Japan. And so the leprechaun is the story of the Twa that was in the land before them savages, them brutes came into the land. You see, this is evidence. And so they were known, and they have statue. That statue in the middle is from Rome. So they was always known to be a happy-go-lucky people. You see dancers, and and so Bes was also a god of music and festivities. You see, and so it's known all over the world, these people, these little Twa, but they wasn't just dancing now. You see, they had the whole aspect of culture, medicine, metallurgy. They were the first ironsmiths, cutting stone. You see, stone smiths, the Twa. And so you can see here, you see the brothers. They look like they in a the Soul Train line, doing their thing, dancing. And so they've been, they've known to dance and do these things since, long time in the ancient world. You see, but as you can see, even into Asia, you see areas of the Twa in Asia. You see them in the Adamites. You see, this is a map, that is showing where the Negritos are located. And this is just one area. This is not all the area. You see, this is not all the area. But you see, they were in southern China, Burma, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Sumatra. You see Indonesia, Java, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, and including Australia, Tasmania. You see, so they from Africa all the way to the farthest extremities of the east. You see, and you see down there it says, let me see if you can see it. No, you can't see it. You can't see it. Let me get the banner out of there just so you can see it. You see, Negritos. And so that's the little short people. Now, this sister right here, she came from I believe one of the islands in up under India. Okay, and they spoke she spoke a language called Bo, B-O. And it was, one of the more ancient languages that have been spoken in India. Now I had the here it is right here, where it talks about that last speaker of ancient language of Bo dies in India. Now this is from the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. And it says the last speaker of an ancient language in India. Oh, so she was in the Andaman Islands. And you got the Java over there. And so it was, it was a bunch of Africans. You see, she's short with woolly hair. Not straight hair, she got woolly hair. You see, so this is one of the Nagas. You see, the Kushites that was there before the Hindus. You see, the last speaker of an ancient language in India's Andaman Islands has died at the age of about 85. A leading linguist has told the BBC. The death of the woman, Boa Senior, was highly significant because one of the world's oldest languages, Bo, had come to an end, Professor Avita Abbey said. And Vita Abbey said, she said that India had lost an irreplaceable part of its heritage. Languages in the Adamites are thought to originate from Africa. Some may be up to 70,000 years old. You see? So here you got the Cro-Magnon giving it up. giving it up on the truth of the matter. You see? And so that shows, and even when you go to Tasmania, you see, which is up under Australia, Now, where's my map at? So I'm going to see if I got. Let me see. I need to get my maps out there. I see the monsoons, but I need to have the map. But that's okay. It's right up under Australia, but you see right there, they little Ptah, and they got woolly hair. You can see right there. He got peppercorn. He got that peppercorn hair. You see? And so, that's the, and so here, you see Ptah. Now, this Ptah to the right is a Ptah from, I believe she's from either the Philippines or Fiji. Now, the one here is from Africa. They look just alike. You see, they look they look like they could be right next to one another. You see, so no matter how far the distance is, you can see the blood remains the same. Matter of fact, here you go right here. Here you go right here. So if you look at Tasmania is down there. And so you can see all of this was Cushite. You see, and and our people took, the Ptah took the monsoons over there. You see, that's what they took back and forth. That's why you see the Ptah on every continent. You see them on every continent, and you see Bess, and you can see what Bess took, to those lands. Now, this seeing Bess here, seeing with his tongue sticking out. Now, when I went to Mexico, I went to the pyramid of Teotihuacan. As soon as I saw that picture, that carving there, I knew it was Bess. Because, the one thing, and studying Sheikh Diop, he told us about how the almond-shaped eyes, you see, and you can see the M shapes, over the eyebrows, you see, which is current anywhere where you see Bess. Even if you go in at the bottom, you see in Greece, and at the top, but in the middle is Teotihuacan. And you can see here where that tribe, the Maori over there, and I believe where they at in New Zealand. You see how they put the almond in their eye with the paint, and you see the eye how they try to look like Bess. You see, this is all an imitation of try to look like Bess. So that shows you how deeply rooted the science of our people is in those areas. You see, from long time. You even see Ma Kali, the god is in India, and depicted black, always depicted black. You see, and so let me get back up here. And so you see that here it is showing throughout all that area of Southeast Asia into the islands. You see all living populations with Negrito affiliation. So you see them all through there. It's just hundreds of communities with the Twa, in that area. And so even when you start talking about the Venuses in what they call little fertility dolls through Europe, you see all those were images of the little Twa women. There was a Twa deity. You see, so they called them the Grimaldis and so on and so forth. And so those were the little Twa women that were fertility dolls that were all through Europe. I mean, Europe. And you find them with the peppercorn hair on their head. You see? And so you even see this in the old Mecca. You see with the tongue sticking out. You see, and so when you get to, this is again in India. Now, it's just significant because you can see here best as the lion of Kemet. You see, he got the lion mane, around his face, depicting the lion. And as you come to India, you can see that they got the lion mane. You see again the M's arched over the eye. You can see the eye like, where they in a stare of, I don't know what the stare, and personally what it means. You see, but, I know the tongue sticking out has to do with the lion, because the lion also sticks his tongue out. So that's what it is. You see, when you take, you see Best there, and this is an attribute of the lion, you see. And so even then, when you start understanding that, they don't even understand where it comes from. And the lion is an indigenous African animal that was, transported into Asia when the conquest of Asia was taking place. The African took the lion into Asia, no different than the Europeans brought the Doberman Pinscher or the Rottweiler, or the bull mastiffs and all the mastiffs of Europe here to the Americas. You see, and when you look at the lion, you can see based on his mane that he was built to to stay in the savannah. His mane, and I got one. Matter of fact, let me see if I believe this is it right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. That's not the one, though. That's not the one. That's not the one. And I don't think I'm more, and I'm not gonna look too much for it. I'm not gonna look too much for it. I had to find it a different time. But the lion was genetically, he was, his makeup is to exist on the savannah. His mane is to blend with the savannah. You see, so he is this is his home, in Africa. You see, and again, you see best as the lion of Kemet. You see, as the lion of Kush thousands of years before Judah or the conquest of India by the Kushites. Now today you see you see the lion here, you see, and the lion always sticking his tongue out, and so you see best as the lion of Kemet, and here go one of these crazy ass Hindu motherfuckers. You see, he don't know what the fuck he doing. He just clowning, a buffoon. You see, just a buffoon. He don't know what this shit really is about. You see, and so you got to understand that they ain't nothing but imitators of the science. They ain't nothing but imitators of the science. And so even when you start looking at the so-called samurais, you see, and then you come to ancient Egypt and you see best as the Camelrai, as in Cam or Cush. You see, you can see that he's in full garb of what today is known as the samurai. You see, he got his chest plate. You see, he got his helmet on. You can see it. You can see, but he also the lion is so. But you can see he is in battle regalia. He got a helmet to protect his head. He got chest plate. You got a plate over his stomach. You can see that also. You see, and he even got a guard for the his private, so that nobody kick him. You see, and so he got all of that. As you can see, if you look at the samurai, he got all the body armor of a samurai. As soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. You see, I knew exactly what it was. So the effects of Best and Ptah goes far and wide. And here it says the god Best, the first god anthropomorphically depicted. It is the primitive human form of Horus one, Best Horus being the earliest type of the pygmy Ptah. The human type was not given to any before Ptah. So that the above shows that the ancient Egyptians left an indelible proof in their mythology of their descent from the first human, which was the pygmy. Now Wallace Budge. That's Wallace Budge. And so he come off top saying that they knew that they came from Bess. They knew that. You see? And so you see here Bess, you see him with the as a priest, he's got on the lion, the leopard skin, which is symbolic of the priesthood, which later, you know, the Egyptians adopted nonetheless. You see, when you see the Egyptians with the leopard skin on, then you understand, this was a tradition that had been carried down the Nile. You see, carried down the Nile by the ancient Ptah, which they also called the Anu. You see, the Anu, in which I dealt with that earlier. Which I dealt with the Anunnakis. And the Anunnakis. Let me see. Which one was that on? Might have been this one. It was. Here you go. Here you go, right here. So you see right there, the Anu. You see, and so in reality, the Anunnaki was the Ptah. You see, they try to make them seem like they was giants. Yeah, they was giants in accomplishment. You see what I'm saying? But the Ptah was also called the Anu, first people of Egypt. They was the Anu, the Ptah. You see, and they was followers of the god Seth and Ptah. You know, Ptah was in league with Set. Those were those deities that came from the upper Nile. And so even when you start talking about Egypt, you see, when they spell Egypt, you see Egypt. The PT is Ptah. It's Egypt, Ptah. So they know the origin of ancient Egypt is from the Ptah. They know that. You see, and then is actually named after Ptah. Now, even when you go into, this is they call it the Mayan. The Mayan ain't got no goddamn calendar. The calendar was already being used before the Mayan even was on the earth. You see, it is the Olmec calendar, which is the Nile Valley calendar. You see, and you see right there in the middle, Bess. So even here, in the Americas, the calendar that was brought here was from Africa. There's no doubt about it. When you go into Asia, you see the Ptah over there. That's a Ptah. That's not a dwarf. You see the arms and legs are proportioned to the body. You see, proportion to the body. These are Ptah. And you can see that they're highly venerated in Asia nonetheless, as in ancient Egypt, as the bringers, the original peoples in the land. You see, they there too. The Hindus ain't got they might have one here and there, but they don't have a whole population of Ptah like that. They have dwarfs, which is totally different. So you can see them being venerated all through Asia. You can see that's African. No doubt about it. That's African. And you can see here, in ivory coming out of Tut, you can see clearly that is African. You see it's clearly African, sailing down the Nile to bring civilization. You see, to bring civilization into Nubia, to bring civilization into Egypt. You see, to bring civilization all over the planet. You can see them here. I saw this myself when I was in the Master Bar of Congemini. You see, in the Master Bar of Congemini, and you can see the Ptah in there, craft and jewelry. You see, and you can see they got their aprons on. That means that they were brothers of the craft. They were priests. And they were the very first priest. They were the priest of Ptah. And this is Ptah. You see? And they don't show you Ptah as the Twa. And it was so important that Imhotep in a trinity was a trinity with Ptah. Ptah, Sekhmet, and Imhotep. You see? And so when you start talking about even the pyramids, when you start talking about the old kingdom, the pyramids were built under the veneration of Ptah. Ptah was the first supreme deity of ancient Egypt. Okay, he was the great pyramids were built under the worship of Ptah. You see, and so people don't give Ptah the credit that's due him. Ptah is one of the most powerful deities, if not the most powerful deity. You see, even greater than Amen. I must state that. You see, even greater. And so again, Ptah, Imhotep being the son of Ptah in the Trinity shows and proves that they were the great medicine men, the great medicine women of old because they come out of the Congo. And because they came out of the Congo, they had access to all that natural, herbs and vegetation and, healing properties that's coming out of the rainforest. And so, Ptah was also a great deity of medicine that they don't want to talk about because the Twa come out of that area. You see, they come out of that area of what they call today the Congo rainforest. That's where they still located. You see? And so even when you go to the Narmer's palette, you see that it's the Twa that's there. On the palette, they are the ones holding the totem poles, you see, and let me get the land of Punt. So you can see that even Ptah was worshiped. Where is that? There you go. But that's not the man. Okay. Wow, I don't know exactly which one I put that on. I don't. I wanted y'all to see that though. But matter of fact, I think I could just snatch it from somewhere. Let me just snatch it from somewhere. You see, so you can see the land of Punt. And you see the ruler of the land of Punt. What? They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about that. Let me see. Let me see if I can get him right quick. So I can show you. You can go do your research on your own. Okay, let me see if I can get a good one. I don't want none of this. Let me see if I can get a good one. Well, they don't want you to get none. Okay, this one look pretty good. Oh, yeah, right there. Here we go. Here we go. Let me drop this down here for you. And see, they want to, and people don't want to talk about Punt because this was the holy land of the ancient Egyptians. And so this is, I believe, coming from Hatshepsut's funerary because she also went to the land of Punt. And the first you see right there, the king of Punt, and you see, and that's the queen of Punt, his wife. You see, they jealous, trying to carve her backside off and shit. They said she had elephantiasis or whatever, whatever lie they could come up with to discredit the Africans. That's what they did. So when you look there at the king of Punt, which is Somalia, Southern Sudan, you see, all of that area. It also included Southern Sudan. But, that was the area where the Africans guarded the horn of Africa. And you can see right there that let me put this in so you can see him. You see Imhotep too. You can see Imhotep. You see the king of Punt got the headdress of Ptah on his head. Nobody, you never hear nobody talking about that. You see, to show that the Ptah was also worshipped in the land of Punt. You see, let me show you. Let me see Ptah. That's the little short toa, but let me get Ptah up there, and so I can go out with a bang, y'all. You know, this is our people, man. This is what we the founders. We ain't got to fabricate shit. It's real. I hope I can get that one. I love that one. That's there you go, right there. Ooh, that's cold blooded. Yeah, I like that one. That one the truth. And he got that wasp scepter. That's how you represent right there. It don't get no better than that, man. This is like one of my favorite right here. It's my God. This is my God right here. That's my God. You feel me? Ptah, man. That's real right there. Look at that. Man, black African with the wasp. Got set on his chest. Let me get it right here so y'all can see it. That's how you represent. You see? And so you see the cap on his head is the cap that's also worn by Imhotep and the king of Punt. And they don't bring that up. That they were, you know, that the Puntites was also followers of the great god Ptah. You see? And so, you know, now this is the Ptah in his taller form, but the original form was the Twa. You see, was the Twa. And so, you know, but when you look at his symbolisms of Set and being of the southern, because Set is also south, being of the southern, you know, area of the Nile Valley, you see? And so, family, do your research back, you know, go behind me, do your research, get knowledge, but in all you're getting, get understanding. That's wisdom. When you understand it and you can go through the process and you master the knowledge where you could go through the process yourself, you can explain, you have gained wisdom. So don't just get knowledge, get wisdom. All right, family, thank you for being here today. This is the General Sarasun Seti saying, hey, KingSeti.com. We got 20% off at this time. GeneralSeti.com, over 900 videos, flaming hot. You see what I'm saying? And we also Patreon. We got about 2 hard body presentations going down on Patreon tomorrow. Become a patron today. It don't matter what a tier you pick, you gonna get fed. Period. You gonna get fed. All right, family. This the General saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.